Hello, beautiful people. How are you doing today? So, long time no talk, and I'm actually gonna get a microphone. I'm gonna get a background. Gonna get back into making some videos. I know this sounds like I've mentioned it before, but I feel particularly called back into um, the YouTube sphere. Um, I think it's important that we begin to call out lies. Really, back in the day when I first started as a YouTuber, it was in 2008. Well, that was before a lot of people had computers or access to YouTube. And it was the beginning, really, of citizen journalists, where we could fact check what was going on in our own neighborhoods. And we were able to really look at things for the first time, analyze it through group, sourcing and stuff, and come up with things that weren't making sense anymore. So it was really the days of uncovering, I think, the first conspiracies, right? But the problem is, this is what's happened because I used to work for Alex Jones, king of conspiracies, right? I was a reporter for him, so I can tell you straight up, they're not all conspiracies. Not everything's a conspiracy. And once you start making everything a conspiracy, then none of the real conspiracies have any weight anymore. And so it's kind of like that Aesop fable of the kid crying wolf. Every time you cry conspiracy and it's not a conspiracy, it's just happened. Like the wildfires or the flood, in I got flooded in Houston. That wasn't a conspiracy. It wasn't Abbott's fault. It was a natural disaster. Same thing in North Carolina. Same thing in California. But one of the first things I saw was a bunch of conspiracy theories. This does not help. It does not help at all. So, you know what I mean? And it's just like the truth is conspiracy do happen, but they don't happen all the time. Life happens. And to call everything a conspiracy is to really negate a conspiracy that is true. So we got to stop with this. It's like everybody wants to like put out the quickest clickbait and get information, and I get it because when I worked, started here on YouTube, like becoming a truther, we were called trying to find the truth. I would like find out some information, like it was during Obama, and I'd come out with something like he was going to put the military. That was a big thing. We were so afraid he was going to put the military on the streets, and who did it? Trump. But in any case, we were all fighting that. Obama, you better not do that against American people. It would be the worst thing ever. And, we were all fighting a good fight back then. I really feel like that was the truth. And sometimes, though, you would jump on a story and it just wasn't true. And somebody would come out and say, hey, Linda, you need to do more research because you don't want to put up misinformation. Because then it just muddies all the real information out there. And that's really the problem with America right now. Everybody thinks they're an expert because they watch somebody in their basement on YouTube. It's like, no, okay? I minored in journalism. I have my, degree in English literature. I was an editor for the Santa Monica newspaper. I have been a reporter for many years. It's like there are standards. You get sources, you do research, you get multiple sources. That's how you end up finding the truth instead of just somebody's perspective. But when every one of us now can just click send and pretend like we're now the expert because we found a couple memes that said the same thing, my friends, we are in trouble. It is idiocracy out there. And I think that the only way back to the truth is to call out the lies. Whoever says them, I don't care what party it is, I don't care what person it is. We need to call out the lies and also come back to the morality of a standard where we don't accept liars in our life. We don't hire liars. We don't invite them into our homes. We don't make friends with them. We ostracize and shun liars. Because why? It wrecks the very fabric of our community and our society. And it has. It's torn us apart. The lies sown, mostly by politicians. I'd like to address the California wildfires. This is something close to my heart. I live there. I had a restaurant in the Palisades. I sold it a few years ago. Was forced out actually by Frank Caruso. He bought up the entire neighborhood and forced out all the small mom and pop businesses, of which my restaurant was one. Um, and they redid the whole area. It was beautiful, very upscale. In any case, I knew all the people in the Palisades. They came in my restaurant, their kids with their dogs, their parents. These were people, a lot of movie stars, a lot of people in the movie industry, a lot of people that had just managed to move there, had been there since they were children. And it's like, it was a beautiful, beautiful community, a beautiful place to live. And it was burned to the ground. And friends of mine were, keeping in touch on the edge, not knowing if they had a home to go to. Many friends came back to nothing and are homeless. And, they have nothing. And at least in the flood, I had to get saved from the Harvey hurricane. My house was flooded 2 days after I got married. And we had to get saved by the Cajun Navy, showed up in our driveway and drove us over what used to be my neighborhood and my neighbors' tops of their homes. It looked like a lake, and we were in a FEMA hotel for 6 months after that. I was really happy I moved to Houston, let me tell you. Anyway, in any case, it's a horrific thing that happened in California, and um, the changing climate and the escalation in things that are happening that weren't supposed to happen. Like, for instance, in Houston, none of us had flood insurance. Our next door neighbor, who was our insurance agent, he didn't have flood insurance. Nobody did, and the banks hadn't made anybody have flood insurance because it was never supposed to happen. Guess what? It happened. And that's the world we're living in. There's natural disasters going on. And if you think you can predict or control Mother Nature, you can't. And can we change things? I'd like to think that not polluting our water and air is a good idea anyway. I mean, it's like, it's kind of like, what do rich people do? The very first thing they do, they move to a neighborhood with beautiful water and trees, right? So why would we kill and pollute our most precious things on the planet and the animals that live there? In any case, is it causing climate change? I don't know. But obviously, the climate is changing, and to deny that is, I think, stupid. But in any case, everybody can have their own opinion on that. I'm not a scientist, but I don't know. Logic seems to be able to help in this situation. In any case, I want to get to the California fires, and that is what really upset me about the California fires, besides the fact that um, I thought somewhere in our military arsenal that we had something much more powerful that would be able to put out the fires that happened than what we saw happen. And I get it, it was a once in a lifetime cyclone, hurricane, wind fire event, and they just couldn't get enough pressure out of all the hoses at once. It was not a water problem, it was getting the pressure from the hose and getting the water up through the hose that was the problem. It was a big lie and misinformation that was spread that somehow we ran out of water. There was a reservoir that did contain water, one of the very many reservoirs. One of them was under repair. That's true. So it didn't have water in it. Would that have made a difference? Barely any. Okay. In any case, this tragedy that was then used as a political tool by our new president um, is pathetic. It's just pathetic. It's pathetic to do to any state or any people, but to divide our country and say, "Oh, you guys didn't vote for me, so I'm not going to take care of you," is the most un-American thing ever. Our founding fathers would be rolling in their graves. My ancestor, Jonathan Dayton, signed the Constitution. He fought with Washington. They fought against having a king. They fought against having one religion ruling the kingdom. And right now we have this far right Christian monopoly and somebody that wants to be a king. It's talking about changing the Constitution to stay in another, I don't know, term or something. I mean, what's going on is so un-American, and I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say, except I will tell you the truth about what happened. Uh, Trump did not fly in with the military and find some magical fountain spigot that everybody in the smartest, richest state other than New York, didn't know was there. Oh, surprise! The military found a spigot that none of us could find. Okay. That's not true, obviously. That was a political stunt that I've seen spread over and over and over again. Here's the truth. 200 miles north of the LA fires is a huge reservoir that holds billions of gallons of water that we save up for the farmland that feeds all of America. So when there is a drought in the summer, which happens often in California, they will have water to feed their crops. Trump went up there, fought with the California National Guard, and insisted that the military open up this reservoir that had nothing to do with the wildfires, and he flooded the entire land around this reservoir, 5 billion gallons of fresh water. He let go into nowhere for no reason and used up all the water that was in the reservoir to give our farmers water, the farms that feed America. And since he's got tariffs going on all over the world and all the prices are going to go up, we're going to need farmers in America more than ever. This is a terrorist act. He literally sabotaged California's farmlands. So California has introduced a bill to secede from the union and is getting signatures. And I think it's only the beginning. And Canada is only going to try and retaliate against the red states, they're saying right now. That they're going to, I believe, take off any products from red states in America and not sell them at all. And in Canada, as a way of saying, you voted for them. And the blue states are like, and we're stuck with it. And so, yeah, starting wars with all the allies that came to our aid. By the way, I don't know, everybody is always like, oh, get out of NATO, get out of NATO. Well, the only time Title V was enacted in NATO, which means that all the countries have to come together and fight. The only time that ever happened in the history of NATO, I think 40 years, whatever now, was for the United States after 9/11. So everybody, Poland, Denmark, Canada, all of them, all those European, they all sent their children to die in a fake war in Iraq for us. So just remember, the only body that's ever benefited from NATO is us. And we sent their kids to die in a fake war with fake weapons of mass destruction. Yeah. It's our world. We have a psychopath in the White House that has the nuclear codes, has just given all of our financial information to the richest man in the world, who plans on giving tax cuts, trillions of dollars to his rich friends. And you think he's getting rid of the deep state? Don't you know that is the deep state? It doesn't get any deeper than the oligarchs ruling our information and our country. They're sitting in Mar-a-Lago. That's the deep state, folks. So, okay, sorry about that, guys. As you can see, I'm getting a little worked up about the state of our democracy. And I'd like to join together with all of you because I know we all love our country. I know we want the best for our country and hopefully for other people too. At least I do. And I hope that we can find the truth here. And when things come up, that we can sort through the misinformation and get to the truth, whether it's a truth we like or a truth we don't. And I'm going to end with this because, I started out in my journey on YouTube. I was a Tea Party Republican, okay? And, like I said, I was working for Alex Jones. I was fully committed to that consciousness. And then when things change, you have to be aware that they're changing, right? And you have to be open to new information. And what I see now is not the Republican Party that I knew. And it scares me. And the worst thing about it is the lies and the lies that get left out on the table as lies. And in here, speaking about crying wolf, here in my own case, when it came to Biden, right, who honestly, it shocked a lot of people when we saw him at the debate with Trump. Because even though you all had been saying on the, like, I mean, not all you all. I'm talking about the far right news had like because Fox lies so much that when they also threw in the information about Biden seeming not to be himself or whatever, we all thought it was just more lies, so we let it go. Like the kid in the grape forest that was crying wolf and nobody cared anymore because it's like, yeah, you're always saying that. I don't believe you. So we didn't understand. Like, and that's where the problem is because together we could have worked, like, we should have possibly, thinking about it, removed him. I hate to say it. We should have, if that was really the case, we should have right away asked for like a psycho, like some kind of analysis on his brain or something. Sorry, I can't come up with the word right now, but it's like for the good of the whole country, whether you're a Democrat or Republican. Well, this is our country. If we have a president that is not able to do the job for some reason, like we need to like address that. So the fact that the Democrats couldn't believe the Republicans at all, that was a problem. And I think it might be the other way now because I feel like a lot of Democrats are being sounding the alarm bells like, yo, 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 look what's going on here. And you've just all put us in the misinformation category and you're not open to the fact that maybe we're telling you the truth. So I'd like to keep this station open to truly finding the truth, even if it's an inconvenient truth that I don't personally like or you don't personally like, because in the end, the truth is what is. It is freedom. It will keep us free. It will keep us united. And we can't let misinformation divide us anymore. We can't do it. We can't do it. So I want to say, let's start here. And I'm thinking I'm going to start doing some live shows so we can all like react. We can get in the chat. Maybe I can even get people to call in or zoom in and I can put you on and you can tell me your version of why you think something's true. And then, we can actually figure it out on air, get to the bottom of it, because there's opinions, there's theories, and then there's facts. So if you can start with the facts, the truths, the things that you can actually measure, then the other things we can overlay until we come to the closest thing to a truth. Anyway, I hope you join me in this journey because we need each other more than ever, and it seems harder more than ever. And it's okay if we get mad. It's okay if we get frustrated. It's time to be real. And I welcome your ideas, your thoughts, and your energy. So I love you, and I hope you have a wonderful day. And thanks for sitting through this moment in time with me.
Gonna find me a house full of cowboys to do my laundry and pick up my toys. 'Cause I've been a very good girl as long as I could be. And I'll let the rest of the world keep love alive. Just avoids me. I'm gonna buy me a house with a big field. I'll lose my head and then I'll kick up my heels. 'Cause I was a very good girl as long as I could be. And I'll let the rest of the world keep love alive. 'Cause love just avoids me. And this young heart will never grow cold or lonely. And this young